With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Welcome to Back to the Frame Rate. Here we are with myself, Nathan Shore, and Eli Escobar. We are doing a bonus episode, and
just for you,
just for me, and for you, Ellie. We are here going to do some of our movie musings and some of our 2024 New Year's resolutions. It is 2024 is one of our first episodes of the year. And, typically, I don't always do New Year's resolutions. Ellie, do you do New Year's resolutions for yourself, for your life?
So I think I used to a few years back, but I sort of stopped doing that because I never keep up with them. So I just like, nope, I'd rather not do them because then things happen. But yeah, it depends on the year, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of find New Year's resolutions don't really work for me because it's like, I feel like, well, this is what I'm going to start doing now. Well, why don't I do that before? I feel like if, it's like an arbitrary date, a date in time where I start doing things. Well, if my intention really was to change my life to do this, then why do I need a flip the calendar to do it?
Yeah.
If my intention is really to change something or fix something in my life, I don't need to wait until the new year to do it.
Yeah,
because I feel like it feels like
totally
it's not
agree.
real.
I feel the same way. Like, it just when people say, when I have friends that say my New Year's resolution is to lose 30 pounds. Come the end of the year, they haven't lost any pounds. So what happened to your? Yeah. So yeah.
I feel like it also puts pressure on yourself as well. Like, I did not keep up with this resolution that I made at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make the intention to do something, then by making a resolution, it's I don't know, it's not the kind of accountability that I like. Somehow it never really worked for me. However, we're not here tonight to make those types of New Year's resolutions. We're here to do some movie resolutions, and that might be a little confusing to people what that really means. I have a habit of probably watching way too many movies.
You?
Or I do.
I
will
think I'm
admit,
the queen of watching too many movies,
you might.
Nathan.
Well, did you log your movie watching last year? Or do you keep track of the movies that you
So
watch?
I don't have time. I actually signed up to what is that place? Letterbox.
Oh yeah.
I
I
signed
use
up
that
for
one.
it. I didn't keep up. I thought, oh, I'm gonna use Letterbox. I never knew about it, and then I didn't keep up with it. So I don't keep track. I should keep track of my films actually, but I don't. I just by sheer memory, I remember where I seen and
See, that's amazing because I have a feeling you watched probably as much or more than I watched last year, but I would lose track because how would I know if I liked a movie? I watched 232 movies last year.
what?
I would not have remembered all of them if I didn't log them. I mean, if I came across the title, like, oh yeah, I saw that. But unless I had seen the title, I would not have remembered. So I need that log. I need that list to
Yeah.
remember, to jog my memory.
I think I'm gonna start. That's my New Year resolution. I'm gonna start logging in. I'm gonna start logging in my films starting January, starting
Yeah.
this year. I'm gonna
You
do
don't.
that because I think an estimate probably a good 300, maybe a little
Oh
more
my
than
God.
that. Plus adding the television limited series that I watch. I watch a lot of series, TV series, plus
Yeah.
movies, plus going to the theater. And I keep that theater open. I'm telling you. I do. I'm the one.
Putting. Wow. Y- and you don't have to use Letterbox, Ellie. You know how I
Yeah,
started doing it? I started doing it on just a notepad. I just had a
did you?
notepad that I kept by my TV. I watched something. I just, I write it
I
on,
like that.
on this, and
Yeah,
that's how I
see,
started for years. And then I created like an Excel spreadsheet, and then it became a Google document, and then I started doing Letterbox, and I still do have a Google Drive document that I keep as well, because if Letterbox ever goes away, which you
yeah,
never know
yeah.
what could happen, I still
What's that?
have a I still have my document, my Excel spreadsheet that goes back to the year 2000.
What? You are a dedicated man.
Yeah, I started this
You are.
in the year. I wish, and yeah, so yeah. Well, I want to
Everyone,
just talk
learn
about.
from Nathan. Log your movies.
I do, and it's gotten much more elaborate over the years. It used to be I just logged the movie and I gave a rating from 1 to 10.
No, don't tell me. Go ahead,
I
tell me.
no, I okay, and then it became but that was all it was, like the name of the movie and rating from 1 to 10. Then it became like I had to put the year in there because sometimes, I look at a movie like, well, which version of the movie is this? The one that came out in
Yeah,
1991 or the one in
yeah.
1961? And I got confused. And then I put the name of the director in it. Then I started creating categories.
Ah!
Like I would rate it on like acting and then directing and then editing and the music and cinematography. And then I would add those up and I would have a score, and then that would be I divide that by the number of categories that I created for, and then that would be my score for the movie from 1 to 10.
What do they call those people? OCD film collector or something? Like,
OCD, like something. I don't know. I have a problem.
yeah. No, that's.
I,
I think
I
it's great though that because, if you ever want to I mean, I yeah, I give you credit for that. That's so organized. That's like pure commitment.
oh, that's committed, and it's gone on for now 23 years.
No
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Oh my goodness, Nathan.
I
I
have,
like
I
to
have,
see that list. You
oh,
know, what would be great if you shared that list and then we could just pick films from that list and be like, "Oh, I never seen this film because you've seen it." And then, it's kind of like a shelf where you have. It's kind of like if we had all these DVDs on a bookshelf, like a
mhm.
gigantic bookshelf, and you had all these DVDs, and we could just whatever we felt like watching that day, and I would just go and pick it up from that particular shelf. It'd be like that. Your
Yeah, yeah.
log.
I
So
occasionally do go back and look at my movie log from, what was what I like to do actually, Ellie, is go to my movie log and see like what did I watch on this day 10 years ago or 20 years ago now.
no.
And then I see the title like, oh, I was living at this house,
Yeah, but I
and
think that's really cool. That's really
and
cool
then
to
it
do
and then
that.
it starts, but the thing is though, then it starts triggering memories because like
No.
I watched it with this friend or I watched it here. And then I remember this is what's going on. That's what was going on in my life at the time. So really what
Mm,
what it is not just a movie list. It's kind of a
yeah.
journal of my
Yeah.
life.
That's what I was just gonna say. Sounds like like some people journal their life into, one of them in a journaling, right? But you're doing it via
Mhm.
movies that you've watched, which is kind of like this. Yeah, it's journaling your
It
life.
really is because it's 23 years of the history of the movies and my
Yeah.
taste in movies has changed so much in
Mm,
23 years. I'd say I've diversified a lot more in the types of movies that I watched. I'm into much more different types of movies, so
Imagine if you wrote a
it's
book called
interesting.
Journaling My Life Through Movies. Wow.
Well,
And
now
you can
now it'd
write a
be a
book.
coffee table book if I took all the movies I watched
I
tonight.
tell
I could.
you.
I feel like there is a reason why I've done this in my life. I have a 23-year history log of all the movies that I've watched, and
Mm,
I've been rarely have missed a title in that. I bet there's a few that I've missed, but there's a purpose for this, and I'm not too sure what it is yet. And I don't
mm.
know if I'll just do it until my last breath. It will be interesting. And what does it all mean? And later on in life, my children, my grandchildren, they see this list and like, what are they gonna take away from it? It'll be interesting. I don't know.
I think it'd be, yeah, I think it's a good legacy
Yeah,
to have. Yeah, I never even thought about that. But you know who else does that a lot though? Like you, Carlos, my
yeah,
son. He does that. Every movie he does logs his movies, and he started logging them in his iPhone under notes
yeah.
and rating them too. And I think eventually he went on to Letterbox too. That's where he logs them now. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just don't
Oh.
get Letterbox. I get confused with Letterbox.
It's more of like it's supposed to be a social environment, so you can like follow other people's reviews and what
Yeah,
they like. And I'm starting to use it more for that, not just a place to log movies,
yeah.
but to follow other people so that you can see what they're into and get recommendations. I'm getting much more out of it than I used to when I first started it. So
I'm not gonna lie though, I have like 51 films on my notes from recommendations. Oddly enough, from TikTok. Isn't that
wow,
weird? Yeah,
that is
TikTok. A lot
interesting.
of the movies that I've come across, little trailers, is people. Have you seen this movie yet? Have you? And these are movies from like now to like 19 something, And I'm like, I never seen that movie, and now I get interest, and I put it down on my list. I legit have about 51 films on my list that I want to watch. Hey,
Oh, no.
it's
Oh,
here.
Sam just joined us. Sam, we are in the middle of our bonus episode talking about how we log movies.
Yeah.
I was talking about how my list, I have a log that goes back 23 years. Sam Cole has just joined us, everyone.
I'm crashing the podcast from a drive-through. I might have to go in a second, but I wanted to say, how do you log movies? I sort of keep track of them, but I keep it all up here in my mind. But I
See?
remember dates and numbers like Rain Man without writing anything down. That's how it works for me sometimes.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
me too.
I was asking, how when we compiled our best of 2023 list, how did you know what were your favorite movies of last year? It just was from memory, huh?
Oh, the 2023. No, for that I had a list. Yeah, I needed to write it down. But if I'm like remembering a film, if I like a movie, it'll just like go into like a data bank in my head, and I'll just remember it. But I am also a fan of lists and writing lists, so it's like half and
Yeah.
half in reality.
Yeah, as you know, as people probably listening to this, and of course my fellow podcast hosts know, I am like the Google Doc Gestapo, and I document after document of
Yes,
data of
yes,
things that
he
I
does.
watched. Yes, it goes much so far more beyond what you have even seen. You'd be scared to see my personal Google Drive.
It's very
It's a scary
thorough,
place.
and it's good for like archival purposes. Like after the apocalypse, when society is rediscovered, people will get more information off your notes on this
Yeah,
podcast than like the
it's
rest
so
of
true.
America combined.
You're not lying, Sam. Like, definitely, he's like the library of all movies here.
Exactly. This is a living
It's
Library of Congress right here.
Seriously.
right. So, Sam, we are actually just about to get to our movie resolutions,
Nice.
things that we are. And would you like to participate in this
I would
while
be-
you're in your
I'd be
drive-through?
Honored to
Are you
participate in this.
getting your chicken nuggets now? What are
I
you
am
doing?
getting my chicken nuggets. I'm having a very unhealthy night, and I hope none of my friends listen to this particular bonus episode because they'll just give me a lot of hell. The two of them that exist out there these days, that is.
Sometimes two are better than a lot.
That's true. Yeah, there's always hope.
Well, tell us one of your New Year's movie resolutions.
My New Year's movie resolution, the main one for me at the moment, and this is actually a very realistic, achievable goal. I tried to do something that's like within reason because I'm not. It's not like I want to suddenly become an astronaut. That's not going to happen, you know. But my goal is to consistently write more on my projects. Always, I'm trying to do more acting and editing, and I do a lot of movies, but I have a lot of ideas and they spin around in my head, and I'm guilty of procrastinating on writing or not writing down the ideas at all or not getting to my script immediately. And I am a decent writer. And when I get into the zone, I can write a lot. So, main resolution is just to write more and be more consistent about it this year. And I've already tried to start. So, it's like achievable.
There you go. That's awesome.
That's great. That's great. Ellie, do you have one that you like to share with
Yeah,
us?
so for me as an actor, I want to, well, it's probably a hard goal or resolution, but I like to get representation from California this year, and I'm submitting to different agencies to see if I could be represented. I already have representation here in New England, but I like to expand more and start really booking more, credits, real credits on TV. That's my main goal, and I am
Hmm.
basically studying every day with different coaches to prepare to get to that point. But I also want to make sure that I'm also writing, not the way you guys write, because you guys are like totally filmmakers already. But I'm one of my resolutions is to try to film that script I wrote last year that I haven't yet done. It's written, it's there. I just need to get the courage to film it.
Yeah,
But that's it.
that's great.
Yeah.
I'll
You?
mention one of mine, and it's not very similar to what both of you are saying, and that is I want to just basically get back into the world of creating my own film projects. It's
Yeah.
been a long time, and even on a small scale. I mean, I have been very lucky. I've been blessed to have been able to create a couple feature films, and it's been a long time since I've produced something, and I'm really feeling the itch. I had a failed project last summer that just didn't happen, and a lot of it was I blame myself as my own hubris, and I kind of kick myself for letting a couple things get out of hand that just didn't allow me to get it done. But I've also had some issues happen with family and unforeseen things that I didn't expect this fall that I
Mm,
couldn't have done anything either, but I feel like a lot of that we have gotten past, and I'm optimistic that in 2024 I will have the opportunity to get back in the horse and get something produced. So that is definitely something. It's just in some capacity, and I don't want to like jump into the deep end. It's been quite some time, and I kind of worry that it's been so long since I've done something on a grand scale. Like, am I out of practice? Do I know how to even do it anymore? I
it
think about
does
this a
feel like
lot.
that.
It does, because I am now getting with Facebook. How it sends you like memories.
Yeah.
You know, I am getting sent that now because it was now 7 years ago that I produced my first feature film, Higher Methods, and now every single day I'm getting sent those memories of all the things. I took pictures and
Yeah,
videos,
yeah,
posted
yeah.
onto Facebook
Yeah.
every single day. And I feel like now it's mocking me. Oh, 7 years ago I was on set doing this. And at that time I feel like this was like the start of the my career as a filmmaker, director, producer, doing great
Mm,
things. And that was 7 years ago. And what have I done since? Now I have done things since, but no, it hasn't necessarily gone the way I thought it would since I made that movie. There's been other roadblocks. The post production on it didn't go the way I thought it would. It didn't get the distribution that I thought it would. So,
mm.
Yeah, maybe I was a little delusional about the whole thing, but so every single day I'm getting these memories now of these wonderful moments I had on set, and I feel like it's kind of like Facebook mocking me, like, yeah,
Yeah, it's like it's almost
I-
like the universe is telling you, like the universe is telling you, like, come on, it's time, come
it's
on,
time
get to
exactly,
it. Like, you
exactly.
know what they say? I heard a quote saying, "Do not die with the song inside of you," right?
Mm.
Have you heard that quote? I'm probably butchering the quote,
Oh,
but it
unmute,
talks about
unmute Sam.
don't die with your music inside of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Sorry, Sam. I did mute you because you were ordering your chicken nuggets. You
chicken
can
nugget.
unmute yourself.
Yeah, I still can
How
hear.
do you need to
Hold on,
unmute
Sam.
yourself, Sam?
Sam, we can't hear you. Is she ordering? I think he's still ordering.
Did I mute
You,
myself? That's crazy. I didn't know that.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying that I'm going to drop out for a second because I have to like disembark and take my food into the house. But I will say, no, Facebook definitely does. I feel that mocking thing when I had a great experience making this huge short just about 7 years back. And like every day, Facebook is like, here's Sam on location and this and that. And he's flying a drone and he's in the
Yeah.
desert and it's amazing. And I'm like, you bastard, stop rubbing it in. I know, I know, I know. I'll simply say that
Yeah.
for me, writing is not a means to an end. Like my goal is not just to write more for the sake of writing. It's just because in writing down and like fleshing out my ideas, it gets me one step closer to production, which is where I want to be making movies. So like similar boat,
Yeah.
Nathan. I definitely relate. I'm
Yeah.
gonna drop out if I don't make it back on time. Cheers, but if I do, I'll let you guys know. I just have to get out of this vehicle and bring this stuff down the stairs. But here's to
All right.
resolutions in the future. Cheers.
Thank you.
Woohoo! Bye, Sam.
Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ellie, do you have
Yes.
any other resolutions for 2024?
Uh,
Film in the film world.
film.
Watching,
Just
creating, it could be
uh,
anything.
just I'm just looking forward to the new films and just keep dissecting what I like and just I guess for me it's learning through films. It's how I probably why I watch so many films because I like learning through films and so I just want to keep enhancing my acting skills. And so one of my goals this year coming up is just I'm a level it's to get to the next level, I guess, in my acting career
Hmm.
and just my film career. It's just when you get to that point where you're like it's like you just said, it's been 7 years and you haven't done a film, right? So for me, I've been busy auditioning uh, with- consistently thanks to my agent, but I'm itching to get to my next level so I can do the films that I want to do, that I love to be part of or get hired to do. So, and you have to be a little delusional to think I'm going to get there because that's how it works. We cannot you can't be an artist and not be delusional. You have to be
Mm,
delusional. Yeah, that's how you make
yeah,
art, right? So,
totally hear you. Yeah. I have like one or two I think I need to mention or so. So
bring it.
I know you know we have this podcast here, Back to the Frame Rate, and this has been something that I've wanted to host, be part of a podcast that talks about film and film criticism and critiquing movies for quite some time. It's been gestating for years. And one of my I'll be honest, I like to be transparent about this. I have
Yeah.
a lot of anxiety and I feel like, sometimes I don't speak very well
Mm-hmm.
about, film, and I feel like I can do better at it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like you, I watch film a lot to study it, but I want to also, in order to speak about it more intelligently, I want to experience it not just by watching it, but I want to read more about film. And I think
Yeah.
I want to read more books about filmmaking, the history of film. This is one of my resolutions, is to experience the history of it and the art of filmmaking through books, also through documentaries as well about
Oh
the
yeah.
history of film. And this is something that I think will make me a more well-rounded person, able to speak about film more intelligently. Right now, I
Yeah.
feel like I come at it very much from one point of view, and I think that I can do a better job by become a more well-rounded person, being able to speak about film by submerging myself more into the history by reading more about it, reading more articles about it. So this is something I want to do because I don't want this podcast. I want this podcast to be something that I feel more confident
Mhm. Mhm.
when I talk about, film on.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I want to do as a resolution.
Not that
Yeah.
you already sound very confident about when you speak about your films though. Like I watch you and I'm like, I only wish I could speak like that about films too, but I sometimes don't, like so but I totally hear you what you're saying and I think definitely I truly believe that the more you educate yourself about what you do, the better you
Yeah.
become at and yeah, for sure. That's a
And
great
I
resolution.
also think it will help me as a filmmaker as well to learn more about the craft as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely. I have
That's
one
a great
more,
resolution.
unless you have something,
No,
another one you want to
no,
mention.
I'm
So
good.
so you know what something I used to do more of back in the day, but I don't do as much now because I've just gotten really busy with life.
Yeah,
I want to attend more local film festivals. I used to do this so much more
yeah,
and support my fellow filmmakers and actors and see what my contemporaries are creating. I did this a lot more and it inspired me to create more as well. And perhaps if network with these filmmakers more, maybe they could even be a guest in the show sometime. This was something that like I said, I did this a lot more back about 10, 12 years ago. I was going to
mm,
festivals all the time. It was back when felt like I was building up myself as a
yeah,
filmmaker, but
yeah.
now that I've kind of
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper? A woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver. I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void were prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18 plus.
This is where projects come to life. Our showrooms are designed to inspire with the latest products from top brands, curated in an inviting, hands-on environment, and a team of industry experts to support your project. We'll be there to make sure everything goes as planned, from product selection to delivery coordination. At Ferguson Bath, Kitchen and Lighting Gallery, your project is our priority.
Schedule your showroom consultation and see more from brands like Monogram at build.com/Ferguson.
at a point where I was doing my own films. I've gotten away from it and I feel really bad about it.
That is so
So
funny that you say that. Now that you mentioned that, Nathan, I feel like when I first started, and I'm, fairly new to acting, like, at the end of 2016, I used to go to festivals a lot and a lot of events.
yeah.
But then 2020 happened and it all kind of like took a back burner for me. Like I stopped going too. Like I totally hear you on that. On going to festivals and just because you can learn and you can network with so many different people. Which, by the way, wouldn't it be? I think it would be a great resolution to maybe. I don't know. I don't know what you think about, but just feature New England filmmakers every once in a while and their films as well. Talk about their films.
Absolutely. I'm trying to I've been thinking about this for a while is
Mm.
on our show find a way of bringing in guest filmmakers, local filmmakers. They don't even have to be local, but like bring in some people that, are filmmakers that we could talk about their film. The
Yeah.
thing is though, if they're like are we critiquing their movie or not? We tend to sometimes be honest about it
Yeah,
and it
we
is it
are.
is it is tough on somebody, you know, we are not just a show. Are we a show that is reviewing movies? Or are we a show that are here to network and support filmmakers? I mean, if
Mm,
sometimes I feel like it's two different things. I've thought
it
about this a
is.
lot. You
Yeah.
know, but I am excited about it. But
Yeah, I mean, it's something
it's
we could
something to
think
think about.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure. Yeah,
totally something to think about. But
yeah.
I love the idea still of networking with filmmakers,
Hmm.
and but if they come on, they could also share, what movies inspire them, and
Hmm.
maybe they could recommend movies for us to watch. I don't know. There's a lot. There's something there for sure.
There's something
So
there for sure that we
yeah,
could add
yeah,
to this
yeah,
new year coming up, that we
yeah,
haven't
yeah,
touched yet on. So that'd be great.
yeah.
Just, you know.
Good. These are some great movie resolutions for 2024. I have a few more, but they're pretty standard stuff. One was just to diversify my movie watching a lot. Discover a lot more in the world of documentary, classic, foreign, cult, independent films. Yeah, yeah. Everyone says this.
Yeah, yeah, you need
And not
to.
you know, but yeah, but totally, it is a real thing because I feel like I looked at my because of course I have a log. I already watched like 3 documentaries last year, and I'm kind of ashamed of that.
Yeah, Shima, I am huge documentary
I
person.
know.
I love documentaries.
I usually watch at least a dozen or to 20 documentaries a year, and for whatever reason, like I just didn't, and I don't know why.
It's funny.
And
Well,
I
maybe
did.
that's definitely a resolution for this coming
And
year.
one of the first and I wanted to fix it. One of the first movies I watched in 2024 was a documentary that I missed last year called The Eternal Memory, which was really good as
Mm.
well. So it's about a couple. One of them is suffering from Alzheimer's, which was a very difficult watch.
Wait, is
But
that a documentary or a movie? Is that with?
it's a documentary.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think there's a movie coming up with Chastain, Jessica. Is it Jennifer?
Hmm.
Jessica?
Jessica Chastain.
Yeah, is that
Yeah,
the same one? No, right?
I don't know about that
But
one.
that movie's also about the Alzheimer's situation.
Maybe I don't
Mm,
know what the name of it offhand.
yeah, I forgot to mention
Let's
it.
why don't we talk about some of the things I kind of transitioned
Yeah.
already? Do you want to tell me a couple of the things that you may have watched in the past week or so
Oh man.
to share with us?
Talk about logging in your stuff. I'm gonna start logging my stuff, okay? This is
This is how I know what to
huge.
talk about.
No, no, this is a huge resolution for me now. Yeah, you've done it. You did it. So for me, the past week I've watched Silo, a TV series. I watched Silo on Apple TV.
Side.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
I don't know anything about it. What is it?
so Silo, it's about this basically this about 10,000 people that are in a chamber in a something happened to our world and you can't go outside because it's poisonous, and they built this underground, what do they call those, not
Like a bunker?
bunker, yeah,
Fall shelter? This sounds
yeah,
like something that we might be talking about soon on our show as a theme. But go
really,
ahead.
oh my goodness. Okay, dude, I started watching it yesterday. I
Yeah.
binge watched 10 episodes. I like
Oh
sat
wow.
the whole day and just watched Silo the whole night, the whole day, and I loved it. And although I didn't, it's at the episode 10, I was like, what? It's just gonna leave me like that? But then I realized there's gonna be a second season, so woohoo! So I'm excited. There are no Tim Robbins is in that film. It's not.
I
Uh,
love Tim Robbins.
yeah, me too. I love Tim Robbins, but I'm gonna say the acting, it's okay. The main character is not introduced until like the second episode, and she's badass, and I love her. And she's from England. This girl,
I'm looking at the cast. Is this Rebecca Ferguson?
yes, that
Yeah.
yeah. I think she was in Mission Impossible, and she was like,
Yep.
yeah. And so,
Yeah.
oh my god, she's so great in this series, and she does carry the whole series. I'm sorry, but oh, something about her character and just the whole acting for her. As I just, I want more of her, so I can't. I look forward to the next season. But I also started watching True Detectives, the new one, number
Oh,
4.
did that already come out? The
Yeah, it
new
came out
season?
yesterday. Yeah, first episode was
Mm,
yesterday.
this is
Really
season
weird.
4.
Yeah, it's really weird. I can't pinpoint which way they're gonna go. It's just a lot of CGI, some CGIs. It's really weird. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know if it's a monster I don't know what they're looking for this time, but I'm sure it's never gonna top True Detectives #1.
Mm-hmm. I I've only seen the first season of True Detective, which was a gobstopping experience for me, and I never watched the season 2 because I heard so many horrible things about it. But I probably don't need to see the in between seasons to jump to the fourth one, most
No, you
likely.
don't because they're
No,
different. They're all like kind of
yeah,
different the
yeah.
stories. So
I
definitely,
might just I might just jump to this season 4
yeah.
because I'll probably never I'll never
It's
catch up on all this.
well, Jodie Foster's in this one, and I love
Yeah,
Jodie. She's one of my
yeah.
favorite actresses, so she's in there. I'm currently watching Fool Me Once. It's on Netflix. By the way, True Detectives is in Max.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Netflix, Fool Me Once, another series that I'm watching. I like it. It's kind of like detective work. I don't know what to make of it just yet. I don't even know if I like it just yet, but I'm still watching it, hoping that there are parts that I'm liking about the series, but there are some that I'm like, I don't know. But I'm gonna finish it just to see where it goes. But I think for this week, yeah.
Okay. All right. A few things that I've seen. I finished Monarch Legacy of Monsters, which was
How is
season
that?
1 on Apple TV Plus. I felt it started pretty good, but my interest in it really started to I started to lose interest in it
Yeah.
halfway through this. And
No.
I know what the reason why, because halfway through the season or after a few episodes of the season, as people may know, this takes place in the Monsterverse, which is
Hmm.
part of the Godzilla,
Godzilla.
Kong, that whole franchise that's in the theater. Godzilla X Kong is coming out in a couple of months, which I really don't have a big interest in, but it's that universe right now,
Okay.
Kong Skull
Okay.
Island.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But what happened was, after I started watching this, I watched Godzilla -1, which was one of the best movies of all last year. And then I picked up where I left off with Monarch Legacy of Monsters, and it made this show so dull and so like melodrama, and like, I couldn't go back. I could not go back. And it just lost me. It really lost me. I did finish it because I was really wanting to see, well, since I started it, I kind of have to finish it. I was like 3 episodes into it. But and then the payoff was not that satisfying. It was really cool with Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell in this, but really this show is just a setup commercial for more of the Monsterverse and
Didn't hit the.
in that franchise. So really, it's not worth it. It doesn't really have it doesn't really amount to anything. So I was really disappointed in it, to be honest.
Yeah.
It really wasn't much monster action in it, really.
What?
Like
Was it more? Was it more of a?
the performances of the actors, it was fine. I mean, it's a family drama, it's a sci-fi like espionage thriller type thing, and the story was fine. And I thought it was kind of nice seeing a show where they had the human characters, not they weren't like dumb characters that I didn't care about. It's just that it just kind of didn't feel like anything special after a while. I don't know.
Well,
So
I'm definitely not watching that.
another thing that I watched this past week was the new Zack Snyder movie that came to Netflix called Rebel Moon Part 1: A Child of Fire. This was not good.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you told me that because I think that I had that on my list to watch next.
Listen, I'm not saying don't watch it. Some
Mm.
people love this, some people hate it. And I'm finding that's kind of the line in the sand.
Ah,
I fell into the camp that this was just utter schlock.
okay.
I did not like this movie. It's also a part 1 of a 2-parter. And this was just all build up stuff. This was just get the team together to fight the bad guys. And it's really just setting up the next movie. That's all this whole film felt like to me. I'm not really going to get into the plot of this because I don't think this movie had a plot. It's not terrible, but it just didn't feel like it went anywhere.
Huh.
So yeah, Rebel Moon Part 1, Child of Fire, just I felt like kind of an utter waste of time. And Zack Snyder has not done anything I truly love for quite some time. But yeah. Another thing I finally got to see was the Iron Claw in the theater. Went with my dad, which I really, really liked this movie. I wanted it to have that emotional gut punch that I think a lot of people were saying that it had. It didn't. But
Oh man, you try out.
I really did like this movie. I think I'm trying to put my finger on what it was. And I don't know what. I do feel like Zac Efron was unbelievable in this movie.
Yeah, he was.
So I'm not complaining about this movie at all. If I were, it probably still would have missed my top 10. And it may still have missed my top 15 or top 20. It was still a solid film.
It was.
But I don't really know. It was missing some element, and I don't know what it was. But it was still very, very good.
That's interesting.
It was funny. This was from Sean Durkin. Sean Durkin was he directed Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene. If Sam just popped in again for a second, he might still be muted. But that is the first movie that I recommended on the podcast. Now a whole year ago, pretty much. If you guys
what
recall.
was it?
Martha, Marcy, May,
Which
Marlene.
film?
When we did
I remember
directorial debuts on our very first episode of Back to the Frame Rate, and Sean Durkin's first movie was Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene, and that was my recommendation shelf film. So
yeah,
that's right.
I also watched, because it was Friday night, I was home with everyone was asleep, but my daughter Chloe was still awake. And I'm like, Chloe, we are watching a movie together, something, and it's not going to be some YouTube video or something like that. I finally convinced her after like my 30th movie suggestion to watch with me for the first time. She watched The Truman Show with me, which she loved it a lot. Yeah.
I kind of want to watch that movie actually again. For some reason, I just want to watch it.
You know what? I haven't seen the movie in 20 years, but damn, that movie really holds up. It is probably more prescient and more relevant now than it ever has been.
Saying, yeah.
Yeah.
It was really ahead of its time. It was like,
it's really great. And I used to think that movie was really, really good, but I think right now it is approaching like a masterpiece level right now.
Dude, I'm still gonna watch it.
It's really great, and she really liked it too. She was like at the edge of her seat, like, "Does that really just happen?" And like, I was so overjoyed to see that she was like really into this film, because I didn't know what I was going to watch with her.
It's
that night.
funny.
I get
it's funny.
Yeah, Sam.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just gonna say I get chills in that movie when he realizes something is amiss and he stands in the middle of the street and stops the bus. Like, I just find that scene so well directed and epic when he's realizing
the music also during that moment gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, it gives me chills, and I love the whole way the movie is shot, like just the way it's photographed, just everything on that movie. Ed Harris's performance, everything fires on all thrusters, and a shout out to Paul Giamatti for being the best like second assistant controller guy ever.
Look at that, Nathan. You just built a memory with Chloe about a movie. After 30 picks, you picked the right movie for her.
Yeah, I'm so glad. You know, it's funny. I totally forgot that Paul Giamatti was in that movie. Yeah.
Wait, Paul is in that movie?
Yeah.
No, Paul Giamatti is
dude, I have to watch.
Yeah.
You know, I always
It was before he did like leading man stuff. It was like earlier Paul Giamatti.
I have to tell you something. I know you love Paul, right? You're the one that loves Sam. You're the one with Paul, right?
Yeah, I'm a big Paul Giamatti fan.
I keep telling Carlos, the only way that I will ever remember Paul is being a blue man. Oh my
Big fat liar.
yes, that is the only way I remember him. I'm like, oh, that's the blue man.
That's
Paul
so
is
funny.
really
I know
funny.
exactly what you're
He's
talking about.
funny.
He's you
I have
guys. I don't know if you've seen it, but he is hilarious in that biopic about Private Parts about Howard Stern, and Paul Giamatti is like works for
oh.
NBC, and he's like a jerk executive that absolutely hates Howard Stern and like just rants like a hilarious, great performance. Yeah.
They
Wow.
should at some point or another. They should. You know how they award people like the Golden Glove. Sometimes they do an award for it's actors that have been in movies for a long, long time and done a lot of movies. I don't know, like honorable award or something.
Yeah, Paul's gonna have to work for another like 20 years before they'll think about that. He's still got ways to go.
He's awesome though.
He is, but he's still a little young to get that award.
Is he? How old is he?
Yeah. Well, he's what, late 50s, maybe?
I
I
thought
don't
he
know.
was older. He looks older.
I have one more I want to mention. And I'm glad you're here for this, Sam. So I actually, I do listen to a decent amount of audiobooks. And some of them, one of the biggest genres of audiobooks and biggest genres of all books that sell are self-help books. And occasionally I do like listening to like inspirational books from famous people telling me how to live my life just out of curiosity. And, Spotify actually has, if you are subscribed to Spotify, there's a lot of free audiobooks there. And last week I decided I was going to listen to one of them. Did you guys know that Arnold Schwarzenegger has a self-help book? And it's called
Wait, is this the seven?
Be Useful: 7 Tools for Life by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I read that book. It's awesome. I read that cover to cover. I love that book.
But it's also an audiobook version, which
Does
is
he read it?
great because he self narrates it. And
That's
I can't
awesome.
I have to admit, I am listening to this mostly for the entertainment value of it because it's great. And I actually took a snippet of it and I want to share it with everyone here because it starts off like this.
I'm right now here in my little home studio recording and reading my book being useful to you. If you hear any kind of crackling of papers, or if you hear planes flying over, or if you hear my little pig, Schnelly, all of a sudden going oink, 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 or my dog's coming in and jumping at me, or my little pony, Lulu, trying to bite me or something like that. So just so you know, if there's any side noises or something like that, just bear with me, okay?
Yeah, that's how it starts, and like I am in.
Oh my
That's
god!
awesome.
Oh my god! I'm gonna have to listen to it now. Thanks a lot, Nathan.
I love that he has like all his like pets and animals running around his house all the time. It's amazing.
I know.
If you're oink oink.
I'm on the chapter. I'd say I'm about an hour and 45 minutes into this. It's good. It's really good. Yeah. I mean, Arnold, he's a fascinating figure because here's a guy who's in the 4th act of his career. Really, he conquered the bodybuilding world, the acting world, and the political world. And like, now what? And
What
he's
the heck?
kind of, and now he's like reflecting on all of this. It's I'm sure there's a lot more that I'm going to learn about this. Sam, you said you read this cover to cover. What was your impression of this book?
Well, I loved it because and that effect will be stronger with the audiobook, but it's as if it's not as if you're reading a book. It's as if Arnold Schwarzenegger is sitting down having a conversation with you, helping you out. He's like, look, you have to be motivated. He's like, if you want to write a novel, that's fantastic. But if you wrote 1 page a day, that's 365 days in a year. By the end of the year, you could have a novel. That's fantastic. We all have only 24 hours a day. We're all human, and I've got good news for you. I've got the same 24 hours that you do. That's fantastic. You can do what I do. Like, and so, but what's good about it was like he actually gives really good down to earth logic, like logistical advice. It's not just like cheesy feel good sound bite slates. Like the book is
Yeah,
actually called Be Useful, and he tells you useful stuff. So highly recommend, and
that's
highly
cool.
entertaining, and it's funny too. Like at times
I never
he has
heard.
some really
I
humorous
never
parts.
heard. Never
That's
heard of
great to
this.
hear. So
Never heard of this book.
this will be like 7 hours well
It,
spent with Arnie.
That's awesome.
I'm
oh,
looking forward to it.
absolutely, yeah.
I'm gonna listen to it on my commute into work
Well,
all
thanks
week.
for sharing that, Nathan.
Yeah,
I always like to listen to different self books like that too. So
yeah,
that'd be great.
yeah.
He was
So
funny. He literally has one line where he's like, "I wanted to be mayor of California." He's like, no. He's like, "I wanted to be the governor of California." He's like, "I could have been mayor of Los Angeles, but who wants that bullshit job?"
yeah,
He's honest. I love
yeah,
it.
Yeah, he's
But
very honest.
here's
That's
a
what's great
man.
about it.
What an inspiration he is, though, for so many, because here's a man that was not born in the United States, came from a different country. And, it's just, wow, like that goes to show that the hard, the harder you work, the more you're going to, like, people don't see it, but you have to work hard to get to, it's not like you have a magic wand and you're just going to get from one place to the other and be like, amazing. No, you have to really work. Like just like he worked for his body, he worked for his acting, and he worked to become that governor. It's like
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
His level of
Really,
motivation is amazing. Like when I read his book, it makes me feel like the laziest bastard in the world because this guy is so impressive. He's like, all you need is 6 hours of sleep a night. If you get 6 hours, you're good. If you sleep 8 hours, you're a loser.
I don't think he said that. I listened to that part, and he was talking about getting 8 hours of sleep a night. Okay.
Yeah, he
All
did,
right.
but he himself like 6. He's like mentioned it somewhere else. But it's funny, yeah.
I actually can function on 6 hours of sleep, no problem. After sometimes I just do 6 hours and I'm like ready to go for the day. Sometimes like 4 a.m. in the morning, I'm ready to go. It's like crazy.
I can do 6. It's if I do 4 hours of sleep, that is not enough. At 4,
No.
I'll like wake
No.
up and I can function, but I'm like all systems not normal.
If I do
No.
4 hours of sleep, I feel like that must feel like what is when you're drunk, like you drink alcohol. I feel dizzy, like I'm on some type of alcohol hangover or something.
Yeah, it's like you're
Yeah,
not.
it's
You feel
not
like
a
you're
good
just
day.
not fully
Yeah.
present. Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if anyone has anything else. We've been recording for nearly an hour. I think we
Oh my
can close to wrapping this up.
I'll
But
just
this has been a
Nathan. I'll
good.
mention one quick comment that this was a movie that
Yeah.
we were talking about. I actually
Mhm.
finally did see Insidious, and I really
Oh,
enjoyed it. And I'm
Ooh,
probably going to watch all the other chapters now.
dude.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
Good
have
stuff.
to. Yeah,
It
that's
was spooky.
something.
I
Yeah.
did not see it in 2011 when it came out, and I
Oh,
enjoyed it. I hardly
just the
enjoyed
thought
it.
of
Now
it
I'm
gets
glad I have more.
There's
Like
some great
it's
jump
creepy.
scares in
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was really. I watched it really, really late at night, and
Dude,
my
I don't know
whole
why you
room
do
was
that to
dark,
yourself.
and I was like, God, I'm actually like, I was like, oh, I'll watch it, whatever. And it was like, I was actually kind of like, I was actually scary.
No, man. Just the name, just mentioning the name gives me the goosebumps.
Yeah. So I look forward to seeing. I'm glad that there's like 4 more films in that franchise. I like seeing whole franchises, and I'll get to like rank them all in my mind. So I've started the
Yeah.
Insidious journey.
Great. Yeah, I
Yay.
think I'll have a good time. All right. I think we're going to wrap it up for this bonus show. This is going to come out midweek, but next in a couple days you're going to hear our 2024 movie forecast where we'll have the full team together. So look for that. But yeah, that will do it for tonight. So thanks everyone for tuning in. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This is where projects come to life. Our showrooms are designed to inspire with the latest products from top brands, curated in an inviting, hands-on environment, and a team of industry experts to support your project. We'll be there to make sure everything goes as planned, from product selection to delivery coordination. At Ferguson Bath, Kitchen, and Lighting Gallery, your project is our priority.
Schedule your showroom consultation and see more from brands like Monogram at build.com/Ferguson.